Aloha and welcome to my backyard vertical garden here on the island of Kauai. It's September of 2019 and we are in the swing of some absolutely beautiful weather. The ocean's like a swimming pool, the kids are back in school, and the clouds are dancing in the sky. Although our winter birds have shown up from Alaska, we are still basking in the unbroken continuum of summer heat. We've had a bit of a dry summer and I've struggled with keeping these planters wet enough for healthy plant growth. Every time I water, no matter how much I saturate it, it just runs down the sides of the insides of the buckets and the center core of the container would remain brick dry. So I installed a drip irrigation system, something I've wanted ever since I was younger. And what a difference the drip irrigation system is making, saturating each one of these planting containers to the very core. Here I've got a couple rare dwarf banana plants. The one in the middle is an interesting variety found in the interior of Kauai and comes from the ancient Hawaiians. It's got a red color on the underside of the leaf and produces these beautiful little pink fruits. On the sides here we have some little Musella laciocarpa, or the golden lotus banana. This is an ornamental and not for eating. A couple of tomato buckets going, and the tomatoes are loving it with plenty of room to grow up the trellises. If you take a look right now, the drip system is going and this little soaker hose is just dripping away. And here you can see the drip system is on and the little hoses are just squirting away, keeping these plants nice and watered. With two different runs for the system, I can hit all the plants on the ground, like all these pepper plants here, as well as the ones up on the deck. The pepper plants were doing okay before, but they suffered from my irregular watering regime. Now they're just taking off, producing all kinds of little peppers. Got two small peppers and one large pepper, plenty for my home use. And look. And then over here we got more cucumbers, trying to take advantage of what little sun I do have. In the summertime, I really only get about 2 or 3 hours a day of sunlight. I get a lot more in the winter, which is kind of ironic due to the angle of the trees and the location of the house here. Not much happening in these beds back here because of all the shade from this tree overhead. What kind of a tree, you ask? Avocados. I've got so many avocados that are hanging off of these branches that I just don't have the heart to come in and trim them up. But once these fruit are harvested, I've got to trim this tree back a little bit and bring the light back in to the back part of this garden. By Hawaii standards, these avocados are a little bit small and they don't ripen evenly, so I have to say it's not the best avocado, but all in all, I'm happy to have them. Up on the deck, we can already see the impact of the drip irrigation system. Usually my cucumber plants would stop about a foot from the top of the trellis and the tips would get all brown and shriveled up due to inconsistent watering and the core of the soil block being dry. Here you can see these plants have shot up all the way to the top. Even though they're way at the back of the deck where they're really only getting about 2 hours a day of sunlight, they've really stretched, but they're still putting out flowers and I expect they'll be setting fruit pretty soon. Each one of these buckets and containers has a little on-off switch so I can selectively turn them on and off, and this way I can stagger the plantings. Looking forward to utilizing this drip irrigation system to have a healthy garden. Aloha!